What if I told you that with only 3 metrics, you could figure out why your meta purchase ads aren't profitable? This is the kind of stuff that most advertising gurus don't share because it's their secret sauce they don't tell you to get you to buy their programs. But I'm going to lay it all out. I'm going to share the 3 metrics that we use to make meta ads profitable, what the target benchmark is for each metric, the most common reason ads fail to meet each metric's target, and a hidden trip up that may cause you to look at these metrics incorrectly. We see sometimes people misread these metrics and they look better than they actually are, or they think a metric is telling them one thing, but it's actually something else. So even if you know what the 3 metrics are, you smart guys out there, and the benchmarks, you should still stick around because knowing all of the mistakes you can make is half the battle. And after managing over $32 million in ad spend over the last year, we've seen the same mistakes time and time again. I'm going to spill all the beans in this video, and rather than asking you to buy one of our courses or mentorship programs, all I'm going to ask from you is if you like this video at the end and you find it valuable, just subscribe to show us that you like this content. First is cost per unique outbound click. This is the number of people that click on your ad and leave Facebook or Instagram. Don't get this confused with cost per click, because this is any click on the ad, clicking the play button, clicking see more, or leaving a reaction. However, for the rest of this video, I'm going to refer to it as cost per click because I don't want to have to say cost per unique outbound click. It's just too much. This metric is the key indicator for the performance of your actual ad. Meaning if this number is at the target I'm about to share with you, odds are you don't have an ad problem. And the reason for your ad being unprofitable is not because of your ad or campaign structure, but actually probably because of your website. Now, the major trip up for most people with cost per click is that this is the only metric where being too low is just as bad as being too high. Your cost per click should be around $1.50. Now, this does vary based on industry, but for most e-commerce brands, you should shoot for $1.50. But Dylan, I hear you getting ready to ask, what if my cost per click is 60 cents? Well, that's great, but it can be dangerous. Having too low of a cost per click could mean that your ad is too intriguing and doesn't have enough intent or clarity, meaning you're driving low quality traffic to your site. This would be reflected in the rest of the metrics I'm going to share with you, so stay tuned. You can have a low cost per click and still be profitable by playing the volume game. However, this can be tricky to do when you're first getting started. This gets into a lot of nuance of industry, product offers, and more, but simply put, if your ad is at a 60-cent cost per click and profitable, don't worry. If your ad is at a 60-cent cost per click and not profitable, ask yourself, is my ad too intriguing or not clear enough? So if your cost per click is too high, say $2.50, how do you bring it down? Well, first, I want to start by asking, do you know why someone would click on this ad in the first place? Is there messaging on the ad that clearly explains what the product is, who it's for, and why they'd buy it? Also, where intrigue can hurt you by driving low quality traffic to your site, not having any intrigue can hurt by raising your cost per click. This is where injecting unique selling points, offers, and clear creatives into your ads can help decrease your cost per click. Like I said, cost per click is the one and only metric that essentially says if your ad is good or not. The main reason we see cost per click not being at target is that the ad is just too vague or does not give me enough of a reason to click. The way we combat this is with good creative. If you want to know what creative we see working best in 2025, I'd recommend checking out the video linked in the description so you can help get your cost per click in range. Now, the next metric we look at is cost per add to cart. This metric can be a bit confusing because it can be an indicator for both your ad and your website. I'm going to explain the 2 things that you should look for with cost per add to cart to determine if you may have an ads problem still, or if you've moved on to your website. Once again, for most e-commerce brands, we expect the add to cart cost to be 10% of your AOV. So if your AOV is $70, your add to cart should be $7. And if your AOV is $200, your cost per add to cart should be $20. But there's something hidden here that often skews your add to carts to make it look better than it actually is. But before we get to that, I want to share with you the 2 main causes for a high add to cart. The first is ad to landing page congruency. Let's say your ad is advertising a specific dog collar design, maybe a specific offer of buy one, get one, or a t-shirt bundle. If you drive the traffic to your homepage, people are going to get lost. They liked that specific dog collar they saw in the ad, or they liked one of the t-shirts in the bundle, and now they can't find it. Most likely, they're gonna bail. Driving traffic to your homepage can be a major reason for high add to carts, just because you're adding unnecessary friction. This could be an ad issue, but let's say you're already driving to a product page of the product you're displaying on the ad. Maybe you had a great offer on there, maybe some unique selling points. If that offer or key USPs are not displayed on the page, people will forget what they saw on the ad. Your ad did the work of driving the quality traffic, but your website didn't have the relevant information required to entice the person to buy. This would result in a website issue. Now, the second reason people don't add to cart is that you honestly just haven't done enough to properly build up the value proposition. Maybe people don't think your shirt is unique enough to spend $30 on it. They don't understand the product, or they don't understand why they'd even buy it. There's a lot of things that you could work on here to fix this, but I'm gonna give you 3. First, make sure your website has enough information on it to clearly communicate the value of the product. Maybe it needs some explanation on how to use it, how it's better than the competitor, or maybe simply what it is if it's a unique product that no one's ever heard of before. Also, make sure this is as high up on the page as possible. A good way to do this is to throw 3 to 4 unique selling points above your add to cart button, because most people don't even scroll. The second fix that you can make to your website is your theme or branding. Now, we have seen more than ever that customers want an experience, not a transaction. If your website doesn't feel like a brand, but just any other general store, people will be less inclined to buy from you, because if your branding isn't unique, why would your product be? And the third website tweak that you could make is simply price. A simple price change could be the difference between profitable ads and ads that bleed you cash. Usually, this is a price decrease, maybe $5 to $10 depending on your margin, but you could also try price increases as well. We actually just released a podcast episode about the 8 most expensive advertising mistakes that you're making, and one of them is trying to be in no man's land of inexpensive products or premium products. I'd highly recommend you check that out. The link is in the description. It's a really good episode, and there's a lot more value than just that one point. Now, before we move on to the last metric we use to tell if our ads are profitable or not, I need to caution you about something when it comes to add to carts. Meta tracks add to carts as total add to carts, not unique. And this metric is dependent on unique add to carts. So if you find that most people are adding 2 to 3 things to cart on average, find the average and then multiply your cost per add to cart by that. So let's say your AOV is $70 and your cost per add to cart is 7, on target, right? Well, if that $70 AOV consists of 2 $35 products, that's 2 total add to carts, meaning you have to actually multiply your cost per add to cart by 2, making it 14, or actually 2 times over target. This is something that Meta does not clearly explain in the dashboard, and it can actually trick you into thinking that your add to cart cost is good, when actually it's your bottleneck. The last metric we look at is add to cart to purchase rate. Now, this is not a metric that you have by default in the Facebook Ads Manager, but it's super easy to make with custom metrics. So when you're creating a custom dashboard, click on Custom under the search bar, then click on Create a Custom Metric. First, add purchases, and we're going to divide by, and then we're going to add a open parenthesis. Then add to cart. Like I said, this is the total add to carts, not unique. So find the average number of items most people add to cart, like we talked about, and then divide add to carts by that. Then add a close parenthesis at the end. I like to name it ATC to PUR, just for simple, and then make it a percentage. Then click Create Metric. Great, now that we've got that metric created, the benchmark for this is 15 to 20% of people that add to cart should purchase. Now, before I explain how to fix your add to cart to purchase rate, I want to give you a bonus metric that I'm actually not going to include in the title of this video in the 3, but that's cost per initiate checkout. Now, this is somewhat of an intermediary metric that happens within the add to cart to purchase rate time frame. We expect that 50% of people that add to cart should initiate checkout. So if you're not at 15 to 20% add to cart to purchase rate, or a 50% add to cart to initiate checkout rate, I'm going to give you 3 reasons and how to fix it. Number 1 is your shipping. If you don't offer free shipping or have a free shipping threshold, people are most likely clicking checkout, then they see that you have to pay for shipping and they bail. Amazon has standardized free shipping, and if you don't have some way to get free shipping on your site, whether that's on all orders or at a certain order value, people are probably not buying from you because of shipping. We recommend to pretty much every brand we work with to add a free shipping threshold because this increases your add to cart to purchase rate and typically increases your AOV. It's a double whammy. Second is your cart. We always recommend Monster Cart for brands using Shopify because you're able to build value in the cart, offer upsells, and gamify adding more things to cart. This plays into what I talked about previously, that consumers want an experience, not a transaction. We are huge fans of Monster Cart and highly recommend giving it a try. I did throw a link in the description as well for this, or you can visit ecommercealley.com/MC to get 10 days free. It's only $12.99 a month and you will make your money back in the first month. Lastly, and this one is a little bit silly, you may not think about it, but it's just technical errors. So often we see brand owners get tunnel vision on all the things that I mentioned previously, where actually there's just some technical bug or issue happening on your website. It's good practice to regularly check your website and go through the purchase process every once in a while to make sure that no new apps, settings, or changes made an impact to the purchase experience. Now you know the 3 or 4th bonus metrics you need to use to fix your Meta ads and make them profitable. Now, Meta gives you a bunch of pre-made dashboards of metrics to look at, but they're all trash. And if you build a dashboard with these metrics, plus a few more, you'll be able to make far more informed advertising decisions. We actually released a video here on the only Meta ads dashboard that you need to make informed decisions. You should check it out because you'll never have to use a stupid pre-made Meta dashboard again. And if you can't click on this for some reason, there is a link in the description as well. Thanks for watching.